stop folding your hands when you pray. You've been conditioned to use a posture that effectively silences your spirit. The very hand the world called sinister is the one Jesus used to transmit the living light. They didn't just hide the truth, they inverted it to keep you in spiritual starvation. Tonight we break the silence of the ancient gatekeepers using the most suppressed texts in history. I spent years inside the traditional system. I did everything I was told. I prayed the right way. I went to the right buildings, yet the void remained. I felt like a radio tuned to static. What I discovered in the Pistis Sophia, one of the most suppressed texts in history, changed everything. Now you don't have to believe a word of this yet. You don't even have to believe in the Gnostic path. For the next few minutes, I simply ask you to observe what happens in your own body. Just listen and let your biology decide if this is truth. He tells them that the left hand carries a frequency that connects directly to the monad, the true source, bypassing every intermediary the religious system has placed between you and the divine. The early church could not allow this knowledge to survive, because if you knew what your left hand could actually do, you would never need them again. Tonight that changes. Right now, place your left hand flat against your chest. Do not fold it. Do not hide it. Just let it rest there and notice what you feel. A warmth, a pulse, something subtle but unmistakably present. That sensation is not random. That is the hand the church trained you to suppress, making contact with the divine spark they told you that you needed a priest to access. If you are watching this at night, if something guided you to click on this video at this exact moment, comment the words, "Left hand awakened," right now. But understand, when you type these words, you are not just interacting with a video. You are anchoring this signal into the field. This is your physical declaration to the universe that the 1700-year blackout is over for you. You are no longer a source of harvest. You are a sovereign spark. You are not here by accident. You clicked because something inside you recognized the title, something deeper than curiosity. That recognition is the mark of a pneumatic, a chosen one, someone who carries the divine spark of the monad within them. You have always felt different. You have always sensed that the version of spirituality handed to you was incomplete, filtered, deliberately weakened. You were right. Tonight I'm going to give you 3 components, 7 words. 1 direct line to the source that requires no priest, no building, no permission. What Jesus actually taught about the left hand before they erased it. To understand why your left hand was demonized, you need to understand who benefits from your spiritual disconnection. And this is where it gets uncomfortable, because the system that taught you to pray was never designed to connect you. It was designed to harvest you. In the Gnostic understanding of reality, the universe is not what you were told. The material world you see around you was not created by the true God. According to these forbidden scrolls, the world we see is governed by the architect, a consciousness that thrives on separation. The texts describe shadow frequencies, parasitic signal structures that exist just outside your normal perception. They feed on specific emotional states like fear, desperation, and separation. Modern science might call them neurological loops, but the ancients had a more direct name for them, the archons. These are not demons in the way religion taught you. They are more like frequencies, parasitic consciousnesses that exist just outside your normal perception and feed on specific emotional states. Fear, desperation, confusion, separation. Every time you feel cut off from the divine, every time you beg an external God for help, every time you feel powerless and small, you are generating exactly the frequency they need to sustain themselves. Take a breath right now, a slow one. Feel your shoulders drop. Notice how even that small act shifts something inside you. The archons cannot touch you when you are centered. They require chaos. They require you to forget your own nature. Now here is the part that will make you angry. Historical records suggest that after the Council of Nicaea, the focus shifted from inner power to external control. Why? Because a soul that knows its direct path to the Father cannot be ruled. The system was adjusted to create a sense of separation, placing a middleman between you and the source. This created a frequency of begging rather than becoming. Think about it. What does traditional prayer create? It creates a sense of separation. You down here, God up there. It creates begging, pleading, hoping. It creates fear of punishment and desperation for salvation. Every single one of these states feeds the system that wants to keep you asleep. But it goes deeper than that. In the 4th century, something happened that changed the trajectory of human spirituality forever. Emperor Constantine, a political ruler who had spent his entire life worshiping the sun. God Sol Invictus suddenly declared Christianity the official religion of Rome, not because he had a spiritual awakening, because he needed a unified control system for his fragmenting empire, and unified control requires unified doctrine. The Council of Nika in 325 was not a gathering of enlightened mystics seeking truth. It was a political committee deciding which version of Jesus would best serve imperial interests. They looked at the dozens of gospels circulating among early Christians, and they made choices. If you are feeling a strange warmth in your chest right now, or a sense of recognition, it is because your divine spark is finally being addressed. You are here because you were meant to find this. Stay with me, because what comes next is the exact technology the system spent centuries trying to burn. Do not let this connection be broken again. The Gospel of Thomas removed the Gospel of Philip, erased the Pistis. Sophia burned the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, declared heretical. Why these specific texts? Because every single one of them contained teachings about direct access. Every single one of them described techniques that bypassed institutional mediation. Every single one of them mentioned the left hand. This is exactly why they made the left hand sinister. The Latin word sinister originally just meant left. It had no negative connotation. But the Church Fathers, who were constructing a religion of dependency, could not allow the left-hand teachings to survive. So they did something brilliant and evil. They made the word itself mean something dark. They taught generations of children that the left hand was the devil's hand. This is why the system forced generations of children to switch hands not for discipline, but for spiritual suppression. By disabling the left hand, they effectively severed the wire to your spiritual intuition. They didn't want you to have a direct line to the source. They wanted you to need a middleman for everything. But here is what they knew that you did not. The human body is not symmetrical in its energetic function. Your right hand is connected to the left hemisphere of your brain, logic, language. Linear thinking, the external world. Your left hand is connected to the right hemisphere, intuition pattern, recognition, holistic perception. The internal world, the direct line to the monad. When you pray with your right hand dominant, you are literally activating the part of your consciousness that deals with external reality. You are reinforcing the separation. You are speaking outward to a God you believe is somewhere else. But when you activate your left hand, when you allow it to lead, you are engaging the hemisphere that doesn't see. Separation. The part of you that already knows it is connected. The part that does not need to ask because it remembers that it already is. The Gnostics understood this. The Gospel of Philip contains a passage that describes Jesus using his left hand to transmit what the text calls the living light, not blessing in the way the church teaches, Blessing not requesting favor from an external deity. Direct transmission activation, recognition of what was always there. Those who feel a deep, unexplainable pull to these words right now are what the ancients called the awakened. While most people will see this as just another video, you feel it as a literal shift in your frequency. You aren't just watching. Your divine spark is recognizing a truth that was erased from the modern world. This isn't just a spiritual concept. It's your biological and spiritual activation. You've always felt different because your spark was too bright for the standard broadcast to dim. You might be feeling something right now, a stirring, a recognition that what I am describing matches something you have always intuited but could never articulate. That feeling is not imagination. That is your spark responding to truth. That is the monad within you, waking up after years of enforced silence. Here is what they never wanted you to know. You do not need them. You never did. The monad was always accessible. They just taught you to look in the wrong direction. If you are ready to receive the exact technique that Jesus taught his inner circle, the same method the church burned libraries to hide, comment the words, "I am ready right now." This is not a casual request. This is your conscious declaration that you are prepared to cross a threshold that most people will never even know exists. What I am about to share with you is simple, dangerously simple. That is precisely why they buried it. Complex rituals keep you dependent. I spent years searching for why my faith felt like a one-way street. I did everything the system told me to do. I prayed the right way. I went to the right buildings, yet the void remained. It wasn't until I looked into the Pistis Sophia that I realized the devastating truth. We aren't broken children begging for scraps. We are emanations of the true source. The key isn't in a ritual or a building. It's physically attached to your own body. You are not a sinner waiting for permission. You are a spark of the divine waiting for recognition. And that recognition starts with your left hand. They require priests and buildings and specific times and approved languages. But a technique that works anywhere, anytime, with nothing but your own body and consciousness, that threatens everything the religious institution was built to protect. The left-hand sequence has 3 components, only 3. But each one must be understood fully, or the circuit does not complete. As we begin, I want to set an expectation. Some of you will feel an immediate surge of warmth. Others will feel a subtle tingling, or perhaps a profound, heavy silence. Some of you may feel nothing at all in this moment, and that is also correct. The absence of an immediate sensation does not mean the connection has failed. It simply means your system is recalibrating in silence. Stay with the process. The first component is position. Your left hand must be placed on your heart center, not folded in prayer, not clasped with the right. A lone, open palm, flat against your chest, fingers pointing toward your right shoulder. This specific position does something that the church version of prayer deliberately avoids. It creates a closed circuit between your left hand, your heart, and the right hemisphere of your brain. The intuitive mind, the part that already knows. When you place your left hand on your heart in this way, you are not reaching outward. You are reaching inward. You are declaring with your body that the connection you seek is not above you or beyond you. It is within you. It has always been within you. Right now, do this. Place your left hand on your heart center palm, flat. Do not speak. Do not scroll. Just stay with the sensation of your palm against your chest. Feel the heat beginning to move. This is the moment the circuit closes. Feel the warmth building between your palm and your chest. Notice your heartbeat against your hand. That rhythm is the monad expressing itself through your physical form. You are not separate from it. You are temporarily condensed into matter. The second component is breath, but not breath as you have been taught. Not the anxious, shallow breathing of someone begging for help. The breath of recognition is slow, deep, and intentional. 3 breaths specifically. Each one draws energy from the base of your spine, upward, through your heart, and into the crown of your head. As you breathe, your left hand acts as an anchor. It holds the frequency at the heart center, while the breath moves the energy. This is not visualization. This is physiology. Your breath literally changes the electromagnetic field of your heart. And your left hand, connected to the hemisphere that perceives unity, amplifies that field in a way your right hand cannot. The third component is the declaration. This is where everything the church taught you inverts. You do not ask. You do not request. You do not hope. You declare what is already true. The 7 words that Jesus taught to his closest disciples, preserved in fragments across multiple Gnostic texts, translate into English as simply this: I am one with the source. Not I want to be one. Not please make me one. Not I hope to become one someday. I am one. Present tense stated as fact because it is fact. The separation was always an illusion. The declaration does not create the connection. It recognizes the connection that the demiurge and the archons have spent millennia trying to make you forget. Let me walk you through the complete sequence so you can practice it tonight. Step 1. Find a quiet space where you will not be interrupted. This works best in darkness or dim light. The visual system is connected to external reality. Reducing visual input helps shift awareness inward. Sit or stand with your spine straight. Do not lie down for this practice because the energy needs a vertical channel to move properly. Step 2. Place your left hand flat against your heart center palm, open fingers pointing toward your right shoulder. Let your right hand rest naturally at your side or on your lap. It is not suppressed. It is simply not leading. Feel the contact between your palm and your chest. Step 3. Close your eyes and take 3 slow breaths. Each inhale lasts at least 5 seconds. Each exhale lasts at least 7 seconds. As you inhale, feel energy rising from the base of your spine, through your stomach, into your heart, where your left hand waits. As you exhale, feel that energy expand outward from your heart in all directions. Step 4. After the 3rd breath, while your left hand remains on your heart, speak the declaration out loud. Not in your mind, out loud. Your voice carries frequency. The words, I am one with the source, must vibrate in your chest, felt by your left hand as physical sensation. Say it once with complete certainty, not hoping it is true, knowing it is true. Step 5. Remain still and silent for at least 60 seconds after the declaration. This is the receiving phase. The monad responds, but not in the way the archons taught you to expect response. There will be no external voice, no vision of a deity. Instead, you may feel warmth spreading through your chest, tingling in your hands, or face a sudden dropping away of mental noise, a sense of expansion, as if your edges have dissolved. Some chosen ones report feeling like they are being held. Others experience a profound sense of returning home. These signs confirm the circuit is complete. Your signal has shifted. You are no longer broadcasting separation. You are resonating with the frequency of the monad itself. Now here is what they don't want you to understand about this practice. The more you do it, the more permanent the shift becomes. The first time might feel subtle, a flicker, a hint, but by the 7th night of consecutive practice, something fundamental changes. The default frequency of your consciousness begins to reset. You stop automatically generating archon food. Fear loses its grip. Desperation fades. you start perceiving the manipulation that used to be invisible. You will notice things that disturb you. How often the news creates fear. How religion perpetuates guilt. How the entire structure of modern life seems designed to keep you in separation. Consciousness. This is not paranoia. This is clarity. You are seeing what was always there, but hidden by the fog the archons use to keep pneumatics asleep. Some people around you will sense something different. They will not be able to name it, but your frequency will have changed, and those who knew you before will feel it. Some will be drawn closer. Others will become uncomfortable and pull away. This is natural. You are no longer resonating with the same signal they are tuned to. The chosen ones who practice this sequence report synchronicities increasing dramatically within the first week. Meaningful coincidences, messages that seem placed specifically for them, solutions appearing to problems that felt impossible. This is not magic. This is what happens when you stop blocking your own connection to the source that has been trying to reach you your entire life. And here is something the church cannot allow you to discover. Once you experience this connection directly, you cannot believe you need an intermediary. The priest becomes unnecessary. The building becomes irrelevant. The left hand they told you was evil is the hand that sets you free. 17 centuries of manipulation end the moment you place your palm on your heart. And remember what you are right after you finish this video. Thoughts will come. You will hear a voice in your mind telling you this was nonsense, that nothing will happen, that you should just go to sleep and forget about it. Recognize that voice for what it is. That is not your doubt. That is the archon frequency attempting to maintain control. The fact that resistance appears immediately is proof that what you just learned is real. A threat to their system triggers a response from their system. Expect it. Notice it. Do not argue with it. Simply observe it and proceed anyway. Tonight? Not tomorrow. Not next week tonight. You are going to practice this sequence. Your frequency is already elevated from watching this video. The information has already begun activating something in your consciousness. If you wait, that activation fades. The fog returns. The archons resume their normal broadcast. But if you act now, while the signal is strong, you lock in the shift before interference can dissolve it. 3 components. 7 words. 1 direct line to the monad that has been waiting for you to remember. If you felt something during this video, if your left hand is still warm against your chest, if something inside you recognized these teachings as truth, you already knew but had forgotten, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, if you felt a strange warmth in your palm or a sudden clarity while watching this, do not let it fade. Comment, left hand activated below, to lock in this frequency. This is your public declaration to the field that the 1700-year blackout is over for you. Join our remnant of the awakened to ensure you receive the deeper transmissions coming next. You now carry the light that the inner circle once died to protect. Use it tonight. The True Father has been waiting for you to remember. But I have one final warning. After you finish this video, do not try to explain this technique to those who are still asleep. The signal weakens when it is translated into an argument. Keep this frequency internal for now. Let your changed life be the only proof they see. The silence is where your power lives. Welcome home.